At a fresh Italian-inspired dining experience just opened in Nutley. Nutley, remember, that's Martha Stewart's former home. Bacarosa brings modern flavors and a playful twist to classic Italian cuisine. From wood-fired pizzas to homemade seasonal pastas and bold, shareable dishes. Joining us now is Executive Chef Andrew Riccatelli to talk about the new restaurant, the menu, and some fun promotions. I used to live right down the street from where you are, so I know that area like the back of my hand, and I know the food scene on Franklin Ave there in Nutley, and that's a great little eating town. People don't even realize what a diamond it is. Congratulations on your opening, Chef. What
Thank
inspired the concept of Bacarosa?
I honestly think we really wanted to do something fun, seasonal, Italian. I think it fits the area really well. It fits mine and the director of operations background culinarily. And we were just really excited to put something like this together over here.
Chef, I know a lot of the restaurateurs, past and present, in Nutley. One of the challenges that they've all had, a lot of them come in with these fabulous open-minded, if you will, dishes. They try to push the gamut a little bit, and then you get the locals who come in, and this is no disrespect, the older people, whatever. They come in because they got the money, but they come in and
Right.
say, "Where's the chicken palm? You don't have chicken palm." I don't mean to be rude. I'm Italian. You're Italian. I'm guessing, right? With the name Riccatelli, that must be very frustrating because you are a trained chef. You're trying to expand their horizon. Say, listen, try this. This is really good. You'll love it. But they're like, I just want a bowl of spaghetti and chicken parm. Does that must grate on your nerves like acid in a cut?
A little bit, and it does for sure. But I think that we're at a spot where we can offer something that's like a happy medium for everyone involved. We don't have chicken parm on the menu, unfortunately, but we do have a lot of other stuff that kind of speaks to old world Italian stuff that I grew up eating and that everyone in New Jersey really loves. But just a little bit of a modern twist, a modern take, a take for me on food, a little bit different, a little bit more, a little bit more modern. It's just a little bit different for us.
Right, because you go to Italy, there is no such thing as chicken parm. Does not exist. Anyone
Exactly.
in North anyone from North Jersey who considers themselves Italian, if you go to Italy, they will call you an American, not an Italian, by the way. I spent a
Chicken
lot of
parm is
time,
a
Mike
state dish in
Favetta.
New Jersey.
I mean, just quick aside, the origins, because I have a whole food website, the Food Dude it's called. And the whole origins, when Italians came to America, they couldn't get eggplant in the beginning. They used to make melanzane parmigiana. That was what they made. And so they couldn't get eggplant, but chicken was cheap and plentiful. So they just
Right.
said, eh. And that's how chicken parm came about. You would never put cheese on chicken in Italy. It would be like, what? What are you doing? But I,
We
I
were
love
we were blessed by an eggplant shortage then.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I love the fact that you're doing the wood-fired pizzas to order.
Yep.
Talk about some of the different pizzas, and you're doing real Neapolitan dough here, right? The aged dough, several days, that kind of a deal.
Yeah. So it's not Neapolitan. It's not really New York style. It's kind of, we've been through 30, 40 batches of dough just to get our dough. And the way we kind of refer to it is Bacarosa pizza. It's not Neapolitan. It's not that soft crust. It's not New York where it's flat. Um, we have nice fluffy crust, but definitely passes the flop test. Very crispy dough. We have margarita. We have a carne picante. We have a seasonal corn and clam pizza. We have a truffle cacio e pepe pizza. Jersey tomato pizza with all these heirloom tomatoes that we have in New Jersey right now. They're absolutely beautiful. Roasted garlic. And then that wood oven that we have, everything in and out of there. We bake pastas in there. We bake our whole chicken in there. It's so versatile. There's so much stuff that we can use it for, and we do. We get such a nice crisp and a nice char and that nice flavor from that brick oven.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, in fact, I'm just thinking back as you're talking about the oven. I have four different friends who are restaurateurs, current or past, in the area, and I remember one ordering their oven from Napoli and how they had to take it apart to get it into the restaurant. But
Yep.
that was the epicenter of the restaurant because that, I mean, first of all, it ain't cheap, but secondly, because you can cook everything in there and it just imparts such a unique flavor in all the food. So talk about some of the seasonal pastas you have in mind. By the way, you already had me. My mind is just wandering in fantasy about the corn and clam pizza. That's already ingrained right here. I'm coming in for that.
Great one.
But oh, that sounds sick good. Talk about some of the seasonal pastas you want to do.
So some of the seasonal stuff we have to continue the corn, Jersey corn, super sweet right now. So we have a corn agnolotti with whipped ricotta, corn, andouille. So it's a little bit spicy. The spreadable Calabrian sausage. We have a lobster pasta that's like a lobster fra diavolo with house-made chitarra, which is like a spaghetti. We have a rosette pasta, which I actually have right here.
Oh,
So
nice.
this has braised lamb neck and fontina cheese, pecorino crema, and then the lamb jus that we use reduce, and we cover that and we bake this in that brick oven again. Um, we have a gnocchi with pistachio and basil pesto. Everything's in house, made from scratch every day. So we're getting our hands dirty with all of this stuff. We're getting in the dough, and we really want to we really want to give off that handmade vibe and feel to all the stuff that we make here.
Listen, when you're set, we'd love to do something with you. I'd love to come. And my family owned pizzerias and restaurants for years. I was trained in the kitchen. That's where I used to work. If you ever want to do a charity, a fundraiser together or something, I would be happy to come and we'll do something together and have a lot of fun. If you would even allow me to enter your kitchen,
I
I
absolutely
would be
would, and we'd
honored.
love to have you.
Awesome. Awesome. I got some skills. You'll see. Yeah, I got some skills. I'm only missing one finger, but I got some skills.
That's not so bad.
But
That's pretty
the
good odds.
Listen, the people who had that sausage say it was the best sausage they ever had. Let's talk about let's talk about your grandi. So the grandi, which translates for those who don't know that as bigs, right? But that's meant for sharing. Talk about that.
So the whole menu is made for sharing. We go from small antipasta through a bunch of small plates that are generally pretty seasonal into the pastas, the pizzas. We have some secondi, we call them, which are more seasonal meats and fish dishes. And then into the grande, we have a whole red snapper, oreganata style with the garlic butter and the lemon, kind of like your play on like clams oreganata, pizzeria style, really fun. Huge fish, 2.5 pounds. We have dry aged porterhouse from two that comes from Palafrida. And then we have pork shank porchetta, a little bit of a play on a traditional porchetta, confit pork shank that we throw in the deep fryer, and it gets that crispy pork crackling on the outside. That's served with Brussels sprouts and I'm sorry. Yeah, it's served with Brussels sprouts and pancetta.
Insane, insane. And I mean, I literally, you'll love this. I literally last night till 11 o'clock was using chunk of guanciale that I get imported because I don't like domestic guanciale. Excuse me,
Yeah,
my chunk of guanciale, and I was making a matriciana at 11 o'clock at night because
that's
that's because I'm sick, because
yeah.
that's the way I am. So we
All
we
that
talk that
tomato at night
language.
would kill me, but good for you.
But you got it. You know what? I'm so glad you talked Jersey tomatoes because there really is no tomato. You could talk about your San Marzano, which 90% of them are fake anyway that are on the market right now.
That's true.
Jersey tomatoes are just the best. They are delicious. There's just everyone's like they're sweet, sweet. No, they're sweet, but they also have the good balance of acid. It is perfect. So we're blessed to be in a perfect place to have corn and tomatoes, and I'm so glad you make use of that. I just want to know where you get your andouille because it's really hard to get good andouille.
So the andouille comes from Salumeria Bielese. It's in New York. So
Good. All right.
if you want a good guanciale, they have a great one too. Not imported, but it's for a domestic one, it's really really good. And they make all their stuff in house. It's great stuff.
Fantastic. I have a buddy in right over the border by Weehawken, Union City area, who's a sausage maker. You probably know because he does all the Berkshire pork sausage and those
Right.
products. But I've gone in with him, and he gets bunch of his buddies together, drinking wine and having cigars as they make induja and they make porchetta and we make capicola and everything together. It's like a club. So you would have a blast. We gotta hang out and do that
Sounds like it.
sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is fun, especially with the wine. By the ninth glass of wine, you don't even know what you're making at that point. You're just
I'm sure.
grinding anything in the grinder. Now, since the pandemic, we've noticed that fewer and fewer people go out for lunch. As a result, fewer and fewer restaurants are open for lunch, especially in the suburbs, but even in the city. Bacarosa is dinner only. Do you ever anticipate maybe if the need is there to open for lunch, or do you think it's just better focus on dinner?
We're dinner only until the beginning of September. September 2nd, we're going to open for lunch. And then later that week, that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we'll be open again for brunch. We really hope that lunch business is going to be great here. We have a great menu for takeout. We have a great catering program here, and then dine in lunch as well. I really think would be great for the area. There's not a ton here for lunch,
Yeah.
so I think us being open and really welcoming the town in is going to be great. Dinner's a great focus for us right now. We have a great happy hour. We have a whole lot of stuff going on, but lunch is going to be a main focus for us for sure.
Andrew, when I lived there, literally every place up and down Franklin was open for lunch and dinner. Now, one or two. That's it. It's
One or
very
two,
hard
yeah.
to find lunch today. So it's good. I'm glad that you're doing that. Listen, I want to talk more about your Lucky Tomatoes, your aperitivo hour. Unfortunately, we are now out of time because we talked food. I talked food too much with you. What's a website for more information? We'll have you back.
It's Bacarosa.com. You can find everything on there. Lucky Tomatoes, come in, test your luck. Happy hour's great, dinner's great. Open for lunch and brunch soon. Can't wait to have you in.
All right, we will check. You will see me in the next couple of weeks. I promise you that. The restaurant is called Bacarosa, located right in Nutley, in the heart of northern New Jersey. Executive Chef Andrew Riccatelli, thank you for joining us this morning, and
Thanks for
best of
having
luck.
me. Yeah,
You
you too.
bet.
Take care.